Hello, good morning, and welcome to all of you. This is Rajesh Kumar Singhal, and I am here to present a new lecture on the salinity stress, responses, and the tolerance mechanism. So, friends, in the last lecture of this salinity stress, we have discussed about that what is saline stress. So, the soil which have more than 50 millimolar of NaCl is termed as a saline stress. We also discussed the different types of salinity stress, like primary salinity stress. It is due to the natural weathering of the rocks or parental materials. Then secondary salinity, which is due to the anthropogenic irrigation of the saline water. Then we discuss about the halophytes, and the glucophytes. We also discussed that there are several plant species which are very for the salinity stress, means some are the more tolerant and some are the less tolerant. Then we have discussed that there are some adaptive mechanism like salt gland, and some pneumatophores. So there are several mechanisms which are pneumatophores in the rhizophora. So these are the some adaptive mechanisms which are present in the halophytes and able to tolerate very high level of salinity stress. Also, we discussed the conventional and advanced new screening techniques of the salinity stress. So this is the about the last lecture. This is the that about the salinity stress basics. Now in this lecture we will discuss that how the after the there will be a salinity stress, how plant respond to this salinity stress, and what are the tolerance mechanism. So we will discuss the different physiological, biochemical, and the molecular mechanism of salinity stress. We will also discuss the SOS pathway, which is very important for the salinity stress. So let's start our discussion with the salinity response. So friends, you know that when the salt concentration is more than 50 millimolar, that is known as saline stress. And the root is the first organ which faces the saline conditions. Okay, means this is a plant and this is root system. So when the soil is saline, root is the salinity stress. Okay, so when this salt come, they affect the root growth. Okay, and they change the osmotic potential of the soil solution or water. Okay, so this is known as osmotic phase. Okay, so this is the first phase when the salt contact with the roots. Okay, and this is a rapid response. So when the salt come, there will be a rapid response, or root is the first organ which respond to the high salt concentration, and this is known as osmotic phase. So this start immediately after the salt concentration around the roots to increase to a थ्रेशोल्ड लेवल्स, मीन्स आपका जो साल्ट कंसंट्रेशन है वो एक मिनिमम जो कंसंट्रेशन है ये जो मैक्सिमम कंसंट्रेशन से अगर हाई हो जाएगा तो प्लांट में क्या आएगा, सेलाइन स्ट्रेस। ओके, एंड व्हेन दे इन more than the threshold levels, there will be a osmotic stress. Okay, so simple word we can say this is the osmotic effects of the salt outside the root, and this is the first phase. Okay, तो सबसे पहले अगर आपका साल्ट सॉइल में थ्रेशोल्ड लेवल से ऊपर गया तो वहां पर सबसे पहले ऑस्मोटिक स्ट्रेस आएगा, एंड दिस इज द फर्स्ट फेज, एंड द plant respond very high to this osmotic stress, and generally young tissue are affected more, so the cell division and the growth are the inhibited, right? Now come to the second phase. This is known as ionic phase. Okay, so in this phase plants show the slow response. Okay, slow response. Why they show the slow response? Because this condition occurs when the salt accumulates higher concentration in the older leaves. Okay, so older leaves have less capacity of cell division and the growth. Okay, so the response is very slow. Okay, so this is known as ionic phase, and this is the second phase, show the slow response. Okay, and in this phase salt accumulated to toxic concentration in the older leaves. So आपको समझ में आ गया what is the difference, कि आपका जब whenever the salt introduced in the soils and contacted with the plant, the first stage is the osmotic stage, and that phase is the very rapid response, and root is the first organ which faces the salinity stress, and when the concentration reaches to the threshold level there will be a decrease in the growth and development. Okay, second phase is the ionic phase, which is very slow responses compared to the osmotic phase, and in this the salt accumulate in the toxic concentration in the older leaves which are not able to further cell division and the growth, and these older leaves are mature and senescent and finally die. So this is a slow response. Other than the response of the salinity stress also vary with the plant to plant, genotype to genotypes, and the species to species. So this cereal crop, if we look in the cereal crop like rice, wheat, maize, bajra, the major effects on the reduction of the TLA, this is total leaf area. Okay, and the TN, that is tiller's number. So the most observable effects are the total leaf reduction in the total leaf area and the tiller number. मीन्स आपके सीरियल जो सीरियल्स क्रॉप है उसमें तो क्या होगा, जो आपका टोटल लीफ एरिया है और टिलर्स नंबर है दे आर रिड्यूस्ड. व्हाट इज इन द व्हाट हैपन ड्यूरिंग द in the case of dicotyledons? So the major effect on the cutting of the individual leaf size, means इसमें आपका टोटल प्लांट्स का लीफ एरिया नहीं, लेकिन इसमें जो आपका मेन लीफ साइज है दैट विल बी रिड्यूस्ड, एंड द नंबर ऑफ ब्रांचेस, जो आपकी नंबर ऑफ ब्रांचेस है दैट आल्सो रिड्यूस्ड. ओके, so we can say that the response of the salinity stress is the different. First response is the osmotic response, that is very high, very fast, and second is the ionic, that is very slow. Also in the cereals there will be a reduction in total leaf area, and the dicotyledon there will be reduction in the leaf size. So this slide is very clear that what are the responses of salinity stress. Now come to the effects of the salinity stress. Okay, so friends, you know that when the salt concentration is very high in the soil solution, then its first symptoms on the root organ, and it cause the alteration of the root architecture. So they affect on the total root area total root volume, root length, density, lateral roots, then roots fragments, also root segments. So there are number of traits which form the root architecture, also altered or decreased under the salt stress. Okay, so when the root structure or root architecture is affected, there will be a interference in the ion and water transport. Okay, mineral nutrients and the water transport also reduced. Okay, and when there will be a reduction in the water, so there will be a reduction in the water potential. Okay, so it causes the closing of the stomata. Okay, then reduction in the transpiration and the ion transport also reduce, and also due to reduction in the water potential, there will be a less leaf area, because there will be a reduction in the leaf expansion. Okay, so it decrease the leaf area, reduce the leaf area, also reduce the leaf elongation, also the absorbing area of the light and the transpiration is also reduced, and the water potential is also reduced. So they induce the senescence. Okay, so when the leaf area, that is photosynthetically active leaf area, is also reduced, there will be a reduction in the photosynthetic rate, and also there will be a decrease in the photosynthetic enzymes activity, and the stress, this salinity stress also reduce the stability of the chloroplast membranes, and the proteins like PSB is also affected. D1, D2, these are the proteins which are also affected under the salinity stress, and also reduce the total chlorophyll content and the chlorophyll ratio. So they will have reduce the photosynthetic rate. Okay. Next, that there will be effect in the, there are three types of homeostasis. That first one is the ion, second is the redox homeostasis, and third one is the hormonal homeostasis. So you know, when the salt is high, salt concentration is high, it affects the ions, because there will be increase in the sodium ions. Okay, and when the ions are higher, the redox potential, that negative and positive charge of the cells, is also altered, and when there will be a salinity stress, there will be an increase in the AVA, and also affect the ratio of the different growth regulators or the plant hormones. Okay, so it affects the ion redox and the hormonal homeostasis. Okay, then at you can see it also affects the genes and the proteins related to that photosynthesis and metabolism, like respiration, antioxidants, nutrient transport, growth and development, and the signaling. Okay, तो बिल्कुल क्लियर है कि जब आपके ये प्रोसेस अफेक्ट होंगे, मींस देयर विल बी ए चेंज इन द जीन्स रिलेटेड टू these processes like photosynthesis, metabolism, antioxidants, nutrient transport, growth and development, and the signaling. Okay, and at the reproductive stage, it's affect the pollination, fertilization, which ultimately affect the yield and yield attributes like panicle length, okay, panicle weight, grain number, grain weight, test weight, and there are so many others parameters related to yield and yield attributes which are also affected under the salinity stress. Also, you can see in the seedling stage, it's affect the seedling establishment. It's also affect the germination percentage, seedling vigor, shoot length, root length, and many others parameter related to the seedling vigors. So ultimately, from this slide, you can say that the salinity stress affect the different growth stages from seed germination to vegetative, vegetative to reproductive stage. Also, they affect the different processes like photosynthesis, metabolism, antioxidant defense, water and nutrient transport, plant hormones, and so ultimately these traits affect the yield and yield attributes. तो वेरी क्लियर. तो ये स्लाइड क्लियर हो गई कि आपका सैलिनिटी का आपका डिफरेंट स्टेज में, जैसे जर्मिनेशन पे रिड्यूस द जर्मिनेशन, सीडलिंग विगर रिड्यूस करता है, शूट लेंथ, रूट लेंथ आर आल्सो रिड्यूस, लीफ एरिया इज आल्सो रिड्यूस्ड, लीफ elongation, leaf expansion, also the area for the light absorbing and transpiration area is also reduce the water potential, chlorophyll content, and so nutrient transport, antioxidant, photosynthesis. So ultimately they affect the growth and development of the plant. So this is very clear, that effect of the salinity stress. Now come to the third, that is the responses and the tolerance mechanism. Okay. So friends, you heard about the three mechanisms, that is the exclusion, excretion or extrusion, and third one is the sequestration. Okay, so during the exclusion, this root portion filter the salts. Okay, तो क्या करती है, जो रूट पोर्शन है वो क्या करती है, रिमूव कर देती है कि वी डोंट वांट दिस साल्ट. तो दिस इज कॉल्ड एक्सक्लूजन. ओके, व्हाट इज एक्सट्रीशन और एक्सट्रूजन? मींस when the salt reaches to the vegetative portions, they can be secreted from like salt. Last lecture we have discussed that salt glands, and they are the adaptive mechanism in the halophytes. So excess salt can be removed through these salt glands. And third portion is the sequestration. So when the ions reaches to the cells or the organs, so they can transport it by the channels to the vacuoles. So this is called as a sequestration. Okay, so this is very clear. There are three types of mechanism. Exclusion means first stage where root filter the salt. Excretion or extrusion, where the excess salt can be removed by the tissues from the salt gland and many other pores, natural pores. And the sequestration, when the salt concentration reaches high concentration into the cells, then they can be transported to the vacuoles by the transporters, help of different transporters. Okay, so there are three types of tolerance mechanism, that is the, or three types of responses to the saline stress. First one is the osmotic tolerance, second sodium exclusion, third one is the tissue tolerance. Okay, तो ये आपकी थ्री टाइप का रेस्पॉन्सेस होता है टॉलरेंस के लिए. ओके, सो देयर आर number of process, like first is the sensing and the signaling in the roots. Okay, second shoot growth, third photosynthesis, fourth accumulation of sodium in the vacuoles, fifth accumulation of sodium in the shoot, and sixth is the accumulation of the Fernic solutes. So these processes help in the responses or the tolerance against the cell resistance. कौन कौन से? सेंसिंग एंड सिग्नलिंग। कि सबसे पहले आपका साल्ट स्ट्रेस रूट्स पे आएगा तो वहां पर क्या होगा? सबसे पहले सेंस होगा और उसको सिग्नल करेगा या सिग्नलिंग करेगा टू रूट एंड शूट टिश्यू। तो हियर दिस टू जीन्स दैट इज नोन एज SOS3 and the SNRK. So SOS3 is the salt overlay sensitive, okay, and the SNRK, this is sucrose non-reducing kinase. So these two genes are involved in the sensing and signaling in the roots. क्लियर हो गया? पहला प्रोसेस है जब आपका साल्ट रूट्स में आया तो वहां पर सबसे पहले रूट्स उसको सेंस करेगी, देन इट्स send the message and the signaling to the shoot portion. So for this there will be two genes are involved, that is SOS3 and the SNRK. SOS3 is the salt overlay sensitive, SNRK sucrose non reducing kinase. Okay, so these are the two genes. And so during the osmotic tolerance they modify the long distance signaling. Okay, so this is the first responses or tolerance mechanism for the osmotic tolerance, means they modify the long distance transport of these salts. Okay, second is the sodium exclusion. So in this there will be a control of net ion transport to the shoots, means आपका सोडियम को एक्सक्लूड कर दिया गया है रूट्स पोर्शन में, ठीक है। Then tissue tolerance, control of vacuoles loading, means more salt are transported toward to the vacuoles from the organs. Okay, so this is the first. Second, shoot growth पे क्या इफेक्ट और रेस्पॉन्सेस होगा? तो अब इधर कोई जीन आइडेंटिफाई नहीं है, so there will be a decrease or inhibition of the cell expansion. तो रेस्पॉन्स क्या होगा? आपका जैसे ही साल्ट आएगा देयर विल बी डिक्रीज और इनहिबिशन ऑफ द सेल एक्सपांशन, ओके, एंड द लेटरल बड डेवलपमेंट, ओके। तो आपका लेटरल बड जो डेवलपमेंट है दैट इज रिड्यूस्ड। एंड आपका जब साल्ट अगर सूट में पहुंच गया तो वहां पर आपका सोडियम एक्सक्लूजन नहीं होगा क्योंकि दैट इज अकर्स इन द रूट पोर्शन ओनली। देन टिश्यू टॉलरेंस, तो टिश्यू टॉलरेंस में क्या होगा? दे डिले इन द प्रीमैच्योर सेनेसेंस ऑफ ओल्डर लीव्स। तो टिश्यू टॉलरेंस के लिए क्या करते हैं? दे डिले द सेनेसेंस प्रोसेस, ओके। नाउ कम टू द थर्ड प्रोसेस दैट इज अफेक्टेड, दैट इज फोटोसिंथेसिस, ओके, फोटोसिंथेसिस। देन there are number of kinase genes and phosphatase genes like PP2C, ERA1, AAPK, PKS3. So these are the some genes like this AAPK is the ABA activated protein kinase. This is ABA activated protein kinase. ठीक है। PKS is the this is the plant protein phosphatase, okay. So these are the several genes which are involved in the during the photosynthetic process. So osmotic tolerance, they decrease the stomata, okay, means they close the stomata, okay. Then exclusion, they avoid the ion toxicity in the chloroplast, okay, means they avoid the movement of the ions toward the chloroplast. And tissue tolerance, they delay, okay, delay in the ion toxicity in the chloroplast, okay. Next, accumulation of sodium in the vacuoles. So this is a tolerance mechanism, means sequestration. So there are two genes are involved, that is NHX, this is sodium and proton exchanger, and the second is the ABP, okay. So these are the genes which are involved in the accumulation of sodium in the vacuoles. So this increase the osmotic adjustment. So we already in the last lectures discussed about the osmotic adjustment and the compatible solutes. So they increase the sequestration of the sodium into the root vacuoles toward the root vacuoles. And tissue tolerance, they increase the sequestration of sodium in the leaf vacuoles. Okay, exclusion में क्या होगा, root vacuole में भेजेंगे और tissue tolerance में they will send in the leaf vacuoles. Okay, then accumulation of sodium in the shoots. Okay, so there two genes are involved, that is HKT. This is high affinity proton transporters, and SOS1, this is again salt overlay sensitive, and this also increase the osmotic adjustment, and this reduce the long distance transport of sodium. Okay, means sodium को exclusion करना है. And tissue tolerance, they reduce energy spent on the sodium exclusion. Okay. Then final is the accumulation of organic solutes. So there are number of genes related to the compatible solutes. Okay. So we have taken the one lecture on this regarding the compatible solutes. So this increase the osmotic adjustment. Okay. So there are number of genes like related to proline and mannitols are involved in the this accumulation of organic solutes, and this altered the transport process to reduce sodium accumulation for sodium exclusion. And for tissue tolerance, they accumulate high concentration of compatible solutes in the cytoplasm. Okay friends, so this is about the responses and all. तो दिस इज क्लियर कि आपके यहाँ पे टोटल 6 प्रोसेस है. सबसे पहला सिग्नलिंग एंड सेंसिंग ऑफ द सेंसिंग इन द रूट्स. तो इसमें क्या करते हैं कि आपका जो सोडियम है उसको लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस पाथवे के लिए मॉडिफाई करते हैं या स्टॉप करते हैं. ठीक है, उसको टिश्यू टॉलरेंस में वैक्यूल्स के लोडिंग करते हैं. सूट ग्रोथ में क्या होता है, दे डिक्रीज जनरली सूट ग्रोथ एंड आल्सो दे डिले द premature senescence of the older leaves. Okay, for photosynthesis they avoid the iron toxicity in the chloroplast. Okay, and accumulation of vacuoles में क्या करते हैं, they increase the sequestration for the root vacuoles and the leaf vacuoles. Then accumulation of sodium in the shoots, तो इसके लिए क्या करते हैं कि जो ट्रांसपोर्ट है सोडियम का that is reduced. और last is the accumulation of organic solutes, means there will be an increase in the compatible solutes like proline, glycine betaines, mannitols. So there are so many which are involved in the, and these are the some important genes like SOS3, this is salt overlay sensitive. SNRK, this is sucrose non-reducing kinase. Then high affinity potassium transport, this is HKT. Then proline dehydrogenase, this is PDH. ठीक है. Then plant protein phosphatase, this is PP. Then ABA activated protein kinase, this is AAPK. Then SOS like protein kinase, ठीक है, this is PKS. Then overlay tolerance to salt, this is OTS. And mannitol, this M6PR and the MT1, this is involved in the mannitol synthesis. So this is about the responses and the tolerance. Now come to the tolerance mechanism. Okay. So there are, for salinity stress, there are mainly 3 types of mechanism, that is physiological mechanism, biochemical mechanism, and the molecular and breeding mechanism. So for agronomical, soil and physical mechanism, we enhance the drainage and the leaching. You know that in the saline condition and generally in the rain-fed condition, there will be a reduce the leaching of the salt. So it for the saline stress. So we can enhance the drainage system and the leaching in the fields. Then you have seen that that salinity stress affect the root structure architecture. Okay, so this is the root structure architecture. This is root structure. Okay, so this is all the root length, root volume, root density. So there are so many traits which are affected in the stress which can be improved. Okay, then improve water relations. So you know that it reduces the water status and potential and relation. So we can improve the water relations. Also improve mineral uptake and the transport, and improve seedling establishment, improve assimilate parsley. Okay, so these are the physiological and agronomical traits which can be improved for the saline tolerance. Then biochemical mechanism. So we can enhance the antioxidant defense. So in the last last lectures we have discussed about the antioxidant defense. Like there are so many enzymes like superoxide dismutase, ascorbate peroxidase, catalase. So there are some enzymes and the known, this is proline. Okay, so these enhance the antioxidant defense. So by biochemical way we can increase this. Also improve photosynthesis and the metabolism. Then osmotic adjustment and the compatible solids. So we can increase the osmotic adjustment by the accumulation of compatible solids. Okay, we can also increase the mineral nutrient transports and the improve in the plant growth regulators, ions and the redox homeostasis. Okay, so when they increase, there are several biochemical mechanisms which are affected under the stress. They can be improved for the salinity stress tolerance. And molecular breeding mechanism, there will be enhance in the stress proteins. So in the stress proteins lecture we have discussed that there are several proteins like LIA protein is there, HSP proteins is there. So they are enhanced during the stress proteins. So these proteins can be enhanced. Also development of the transgenics. So there are several transgenics which are developed for the enhanced salinity stress. And gene editing. So CRISPR-Cas9 can be used for the gene editing, that important genes related to the transporters or related to the sodium exclusion and the osmotic tolerance, and the improvement of the strengthening antioxidant defense by improving APX, catalase and other genes. Also enhance stress responsive genes and the transcription factors. Like there are so many transcription factors like DRAV, 1B, CBF, SNAC1, ZFP, then MAPK. Also kinase protein can be improved for the secondary messenger signaling, CDPK. Okay. Also conventional breeding like close with the wild types or the land races, or interrogation traits from the land races, or by the marker assisted selections, we can improve the salinity stress. Okay, so it is very clear that there are so many agronomical, soil, physiological, biochemical, molecular and breeding approach which can be used for the enhancement of tolerance to the salinity stress. Okay, now come to the next, that is known as SOS path. Okay, so friends, you know that when there will be a salt stress, will be a roots which sense the excess salt. Okay, so there will be a increase in the secondary messengers. So calcium act as a secondary messengers. So when any stress come, there will be a sense of the, there are some receptors which sense the salt stress. Then there will be an increase in the secondary messenger, increase in the calcium concentration, which activates these two proteins, that is SOS3. तो SOS क्या है? Salt overlay, salt sensitive overlay. Okay, salt sensitive, already discussed. Okay, so this is a SOS3 is a calcineurin B like proteins. Okay, and SOS2 is the CBL interacting protein kinase. So when there will be an increase in the calcium concentration, there will be an activation of these two proteins. So when these proteins are interacted, so there will be an interaction of these two protein. They increase the different transporter protein, like they increase the CAX. So CAX used for the calcium homeostasis, and this is a bacular calcium proton antiporters, means it transport calcium and the potassium. Okay, so this is present in the bacula. Okay, next it activates the SOS1. Okay, so this is a plasma membrane ATPase and work as a सोडियम efflux. तो क्या करता है? आपको सोडियम को efflux कर देता है. So they reduce the sodium in the cells. Okay, second, third, it also activate the NHX. So this is sodium proton exchange. So it exchange this is also present in the vacuoles, and it exchange the sodium and the protons. Okay, so increase the sodium in the vacuoles. Okay, so when the sodium transported to vacuole, there will be a reduction in the cytoplasmic sodium. Okay, next strategy where they inhibit the HKT activity. So this decrease the sodium entry in the cytoplasm, which finally reduce the cytoplasmic sodium. So by this process, SOS pathway, there will be a reduction of the salinity, reduction of the cytoplasmic sodium, which further involve in the salinity tolerance. तो बिल्कुल क्लियर हो गया कि सबसे पहले आपका साल्ट स्ट्रेस आया, यहाँ पे उसको जो रूट्स पर रिसेप्टर्स होते हैं उन्होंने उसको लिया, तो दिस इज कॉल्ड साल्ट सेंसेशन, और साल्ट सेंसर्स आर अवेलेबल, इट इंक्रीज द कैल्शियम लेवल. फिर आपका सेकेंडरी मैसेंजर स्टार्ट हुआ, तो उसने क्या किया? SOS3 SOS2 दोनों को एक्टिवेट किया, और ये जो SOS2 दिस इज क्या है? SOS2 इज ए CIPK, इट इंटरेक्ट विद द CBS, SOS3 से इंटरेक्ट करता है, एंड व्हेन दे इंटरेक्ट दे एक्टिवेट द 4 पाथवे. पहला है एक्टिवेशन ऑफ CAX, तो ये क्या करता है? आपका कैल्शियम और प्रोटॉन एंटीपोटर है, तो ये क्या करता है? कैल्शियम इंक्रीज करता है. सेकंड, आपका SOS1 को एक्टिवेट करता है, ये क्या करता है? सोडियम को इफ्लक्स कर देता है, मतलब बाहर भेज देता है. थर्ड, ये क्या करता है कि सोडियम और प्रोटॉन एक्सचेंजर को एक्टिवेट कर देता है, तो सोडियम को वैक्यूल्स में ट्रांसपोर्ट कर देता है. फोर्थ, ये इनहिबिट करता है HKT को, तो इससे क्या हो जाता है? जो सोडियम की एंट्री है सेल्स के अंदर, साइटोप्लाज्म के अंदर, दैट इज आल्सो रिड्यूस. तो फाइनली आपका जो सोडियम है दैट इज रिड्यूस एंड इट कॉज फॉर द सैलिनिटी टॉलरेंस. नेक्स्ट पोर्शन इज द integrated omics. That friends, in the present time the integrated omics is a very powerful tools which could be used for the salinity, stress tolerance and the other stress also. So in this omics study we will cover the different aspects like ionomics. Okay, तो आपके नाम से पता चल रहा है ionomics means study of the complete study of the ions. Okay, metabolomics means study of the metabolites. Okay, phenomics, this is used for the phenotyping or high throughput phenotyping. Proteomics, study of the proteins. This is long, this is transcriptomics. This is transcriptomics. Okay, and final genomics means genes interactions. So ionomics, we can identify the ion status. ये आपका salinity stress में कौन कौन से ions changes हुए हैं. Elucidate the ion detoxifications. Okay, then elucidate the uptake, absorption and transport method. So for the salinity tolerance, we can study the ionomics, which we can know that what are the changes in the ion status, or what are the ions are toxic and reduced, and what is the uptake, transport and the absorption mechanism of the ions. So this will help in the understanding of the ionomics and the ion study. Second, metabolomics, we can identify and express the protective metabolites, means which metabolites enhance and useful for the salinity stress tolerance. And expression level of antioxidant enzymes, means how much increase in the antioxidant enzymes and which enzymes is responsible for the more tolerance, and the variation in the metabolites concentrations. Then phenomics, it give information about the high throughput phenotyping, means आपके different traits जो physiological traits है, plant title number, leaf number और water potential, इन पे क्या effect हो रहा है. Then real time imaging means what are the simultaneous impact of the saline stress we can measure. Then the phenotyping of the different salt tolerance attributes, we can measure all these traits. Then by the help of proteomics, we can identify the protein-protein interaction, means how much changes in the proteins, and the identify post-translational modifications, and the identification and expression of stress and the salt proteins, means which proteins are increased or decreased. And by the help of transcriptomics, we can identify an expression of salt tolerant transcripts, means which transcripts are responsible for the salt tolerance, and the regulation of different transcription factors. Then regulation of candidate genes, which are major genes are involved for the salinity tolerance. And genomics, we can identification of fundamental genes like SOS123, identification of quantitative trait loci, and the single nucleotide polymorphism, and the development of transgenic plants. So friends, अब मतलब ये है कि आपका जो integrated omics है, in this is a very powerful tool, and we can use different strategy like ionomics, metabolomics, phenomics, transcriptomics, proteomics, genomics. These strategy can be help to know the status, that what are the changes occurs, what are the interactions occurs, what are the modification occurs, and how much expression of the different proteins, transcription factors, QTL. So when we come to know that, then we can depth knowledge about the responses and the effect of the salinity stress, and we can make and develop plant for the saline stress tolerance. So this could be a very powerful techniques for the development of smart crops for the future climate change or the different multiple abiotic stress and the unfavorable situation. So friends, this is about the salinity stress responses and tolerance. Hope you understand the lecture. Thank you very much. If you have any doubt, please let me know. Thank you.